Hi everyone, I'm Jude Hotep, the Goddess Astrologer and Alchemical Initiatrix. This is the White Goddess Astrology Daily for this weekend, June 18th and 19th, 2022. I'm going to share the chart with you and we'll look at that. We'll do some card pulls. I don't think I did card pulls yesterday. So if you're on here, normally there's card pulls, but I am going to, let's see if it will give me annotation. Okay, cool. So we have this this trine from the sun to the moon. You know, trine's a positive aspect. The moon being at these last degrees of Aquarius today around 2:30 Pacific time PM, and this is this understanding what we're motivated by, understanding like our positive moving forward. When the sun's in Gemini season, we're really in our heads. There's a lot of mental activity, a lot of mental energy, and it's very stimulating. It's want to stimulate, it's wanting to talk. That falls in your own personal chart somewhere, individually, somewhere different than it does for everyone else. And so it's stimulating a very specific house in your chart personally. But, and then in the helio, I go over that in the sun signs. Whenever we ingress into a new sign, we're going to be ingressing into Cancer soon and having the change of the seasons. And this is a big deal. There's a lot going on here. So I'm going to talk about some interesting things coming up with that soon. And so this trine is this positive thing between our emotions and the sun, which is our fuel, our vitality, our motivation. But in Gemini, it's really about our mind and understanding what's important to hold in our mental plane, how we're using our mind, the perceptions we're holding, understanding that perceptions are not reality, that perceptions, with Mercury and Gemini here at home, I wish this annotation was better, but the fact that we have it at all is a great, cool thing. So just be happy with that. So this Mercury in at home in Gemini is about like where we belong mentally, thinking, how we belong perceiving about the world. Like how do you want to perceive the world that serves you? So often we perceive the world in ways that lock us into prisons, and they're just thoughts. They're not truth, but maybe other people in your circle are living by them, maybe other people. But this last 2 years, this big relationship purge of purging the people that are not part of your soul tribe. And maybe you still have relationships to really understand and to look at, because this Pluto here is in Capricorn about our structures. And so on the world front, it's about, big institutions, the financial structures, the agriculture structures, the education structures, and all of these government structures. And being in Pluto and Pluto being here, Pluto doesn't let anything stand that's not of the highest evolution, that's operating in a low octave. And obviously we know that these have been operating at a low octave for a very long time. And so that has been coming down. They've been crumbling. They've been having the holes, the secrets are coming out, the things are changing, right? That we are understanding more about our world. People are waking up to the conditioning, waking up to the spells, waking up to the false beliefs and the socializing by TV and media and by our world. Like when you invest in banks, when you put your kids through an education system that is conditioning them and basically indoctrinating them, you are agreeing to that system. We have to stop that, and we have to do things different. People are making those parallel societies all over the world right now. So we have to realize it's so positive, and to really think about our mindset. Mercury here and the sun in Gemini and Mercury at home in Gemini, thinking about our mindset and how we want our mind, what mindset do we want to carry about life? An optimistic mindset. Jupiter here, the optimistic planet in Aries, a very optimistic sign. It's very all this energy. Aries here, the Taurus, Venus at home in Taurus and all this Gemini is the first 3 signs of the zodiac. So it's very useful, it's very stimulating, it's very much about what's worthy, playful, fun, adventurous. And it's also about rugged independence. Aries it's about initiating, taking action. And Aries is also about believing. Aries believes and just gets back up and keeps going, gets back up and keeps going. But what is it that maybe is stopping you from getting back up? That's really important to understand with all of this Aries energy. The Andromeda galaxy is here in Aries at 28 degrees. And this is a degree of manifestation. And so it's like manifesting this fierce independence, this belief in the good, this belief in that you're a galactic citizen. You're not part of this matrix earthly plane. Like, to get out of everywhere you have a spell that's making you think that you do things in an earthly way. What does your soul want? Because we disregard our intuition so profoundly. And the reason why is because we didn't grow up listening to our sacred feminine intuition, not understanding what the communication feels like, sounds like, how to recognize it. A perfect example is I take a lot of supplements and I take capsules, so it's just easy. But my body was like, I've had digestive issues. My body was like, it was just pinging me about these capsules. But it was like a question. I didn't know how to corroborate the information. I didn't know how to just say, yes, this is my intuition, stop taking capsules, and start like dumping the powder into a container and just drinking it, straight. And I was making it more complicated. Like, I can't make a smoothie and put it in a smoothie. It's like, no, just take it with water. It's not a big deal. And I'm on the road. So again, I was making it kind of complicated. Like, it's a pain in the ass. Well, it doesn't have to be. Again, mindset, right? How are you looking at things? It's better. My body is telling me it doesn't want those capsules anymore. The 6 capsules of vitamin B and all these others. And so it's like my body is telling me. So that's what I mean by our intuition is speaking to us all the time, but we don't know how to recognize every single time. We recognize it a lot. We do live by it a lot. And I think that's super important to really understand. The Scorpio South Node Scorpio is very intuitive. The Scorpio is also very inaccessible. It likes to be kind of inaccessible. It likes to go hide away. You'd think it'd be like the crab, the Cancer, almost hiding away. And Cancer has its own version of that, the water signs, right? And Pisces likes to escape. So the water likes to kind of like disappear away from what's obvious. It's like the water's not just sitting in the street typically, right? Whereas like Earth, there's a tree, it's right there. Air, it's all around us. We're breathing it, we're talking and chatting, right? And the fire is that creation and creativity and that drive and that spark, right? And so, but the gift of the Scorpio South Node, because remember the South Node is what we're moving away from in humanity. It's what we want to have learned and understand, and really to integrate what we've learned in Scorpio and let go of the shadow sides of Scorpio. And so the gift of it is like, hey, we do run on intuition a fair amount. And to recognize that and honor that, acknowledge that in yourself, so important. Let me just move this here. Let's go to Sunday. And let me just erase this stuff here. The eraser is really quick, so that's cool. And this is super fun to start annotating. Yay. Oh, you can fucking change that. Okay, cool. Let's change the colors. I don't like that color, purple. They need a better purple. Anyways, so this, our mindset, where are you at? So our mindset, there we go, cool, thick line, is very much needing to be based on the intuition. So realizing that you do know a lot of the intuitive way you live your life, that you're intuitively guided to go this way, to stop at this store, to talk to this person. You're just nudged, and all of a sudden you're talking to somebody and they're your next client and you're signing in. But what about these ways, like my example of like my body's telling me, hey, don't take capsules anymore with the supplements. And that for me was just like, I was like, I'm trying to figure out a way to like explain how it came up. Like I didn't interpret it as my body's wisdom, as my body telling me what it needed and what it knew was right for me and what wasn't right for me. And I had asked the question before and gotten an answer that wasn't like that, it wasn't an issue. Let me, how do you stop annotating? Oh, there you go. Okay, good. 18th, 19th, good. And so that's what we have to do with our intuition, is really recognize it. And we have, from the South Node to the North Node to Saturn, we've had this T-square for a really long time. And what's the opposite of the T-square that we want to do? It's this Leo. Leo is the opposite. So we want to use that playful fire, creation, leadership, taking risks to help us with this T-square, which is a square between Saturn and the nodes. The nodes have now turned back to 21 degrees. The nodes move backwards always. They're going to be in Aries next summer. And so I think this Aries energy is really helping us to get prepared for the nodes changing into Aries, where we're going to be asked to change our identity as humanity into a humanity that's heart-centric, that's heart-activated, that's not living in the head, that's not thinking that reason is the highest pedestal. Love makes reason irrelevant. And so we have to get prepared for believing in the good while we might be seeing something different with our eyes. And we have to see the essence, not let our eyes or what's visible tell us the truth, because that's not the truth. It's what we intuit. It's that intuitive energy. And this Leo is intuitive. It's this creative fire, this passion. And this Aquarius is like, how do we work? How do we make commitments? How do we stay determined on the path to climb the mountain? And it's an Aquarius. So it's like, we have to innovate the way what we think about work. That, is it coming from your heart? Are you doing the work of your soul? Or are you still doing some sucky job? Are you doing the work of your soul? Or are you really listening to that intuition and not taking that Leo risk to stop doing work you don't want to do? And are you willing to face the changes? Life changes for the better, but it doesn't mean suddenly the money's there or suddenly this or that. There may be really important lessons that you go through to realize the resource that you are, how resourceful you are. I'm not saying don't change your money situation, fast and work at it. But I'm saying that sometimes the period of time you go through without money helps you to realize how resourceful you are, and that you wouldn't ever have had that reason to have that provoked otherwise. The nodes at 21 degrees, it's really about our feelings. It's about our heart. And it's moving into the degree of belief, because 2 + 1 is 3. So it's this degree of belief. 3 is belief. It's Jupiter, and Jupiter's in Aries. So it's like believing in the magic, believing in the unicorn, believing that you just keep going and that it's fun and it's adventurous, and you go where you're called by the adventure. And when you can't be on the adventure, what's happening there? Something is going amiss, because if miracles aren't happening, miracles are true, and something's wrong. So what could it be? Could it be physicality? Like, for example, I've just had a meeting with my resiliency coach. She's not really a health coach, but my resiliency coach, because I'm like, I'm not okay anymore. Not only did I get sick, and I never get sick, but I am just run down. I'm not able to understand, like, to have a barometer. I need a barometer, and I need to know what's going on with me. And my body's not absorbing nutrients. Like, what is happening? I've had like the worst 2 weeks of podcast ever. I just not been able to get a great episode of podcast out. It's just felt like horrible, because that's just so hard on me not to put out an episode that I feel like is quality. I feel like there's good stuff in there, but man. And so that has been really challenging. And so I have that meeting, and I'm like, oh, I'm just mineral deficient. My body's absorbing things. I'm not getting the right kind of sleep. I need to fix that immediately. There's something else, some other supplement that's like this crazy powerful thing that does not hurt you in any way and is powerful, and then I can take all kinds of things and completely rejuvenate my body. And there's I just have bam, 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 all these answers. So for me, what was stopping me from being in that belief was my physicality was run down, and I just hit a wall with everything I'm doing with traveling and what I'm doing in my life. So what I'm doing with Light Goddess and what I'm doing personally and spiritually for myself. So that's what it was for me. But for you, is it spiritually? Are you going through initiations that you don't understand? You're not getting yourself coached? You can realize that every successful person has a coach. They have a coach, a therapist, somebody. You don't have to come into Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program, where we do astrological shamanic coaching. We use your chart just like this every day, every session, and we go through all of it. And you learn how to work with your mind, your emotions, that personality, the vehicle for your soul. And you learn how to, and you have that support on your spiritual journey and on your awakening and on your divine feminine awakening, along with being a spiritual entrepreneur and making money and moving forward in life. So, and being a soulpreneur. And so it's like, what is it for you? Is it that you don't have a coach? Is it your mindset's in the tank? Is it you don't know have emotional skills and you need to cultivate emotional skills and learn how to feel and learn how to what the hell to do with emotions and what the messages are and retrieve your power? Is it that you're feeling powerless? Is it that the victim is up for you? Is it that you need healing, or you need money, or you need to know how to do business, or what is it? So, is it family? Is it keeping relationships that aren't serving you? It's really important to know what is keeping you from believing, because the nodes now at 21 degrees are saying, hey, it's time to believe in the good and believe in the 5D, believe in the real timeline, believe in everything shifting. Everywhere people are shifting. People are shifting into higher frequencies. There's obviously the bifurcation in society of the two really obvious frequencies, the matrix or the soul life. But beyond that, there's all these other timelines that are very individual for you and where you're at and how high you can raise your frequency. If your frequency is down, there's something that you can actually do to alter that, to change that, and to help yourself. So realize that it's so important to understand what's going on. Black Moon Lilith here in Gemini at 20 degrees, she is, there's these septiles in this chart. She is got this septile to Eris. And so it's the two goddesses that are about we don't care how much discord it causes to buck the status quo, to say, no, this is not, the system is not working for everyone. It's not working for the people. It's only working for a few percentage of the population. It's not working for humanity as a whole. And it's dark, or it's operating at the lowest octave. So, Lilith is about taking your power. Where have you been subservient? Where have you not been standing in your personal sexual power as a woman? And where is there anger that needs to be released? Lilith is very much about this anger, and that you're supported in the soul way of releasing, what has been suppressing you, what's been suppressing you. You really want to answer these questions this weekend. So really important. I'm going to pull some cards for you. So first card is Giraffe Spirit. So there's a different perspective coming in than you have. And so be open to this different new perspective. That means you got to wiggle the tooth on your other perspectives and be willing to let go of them and let go and feel the fear maybe, or the discomfort of letting go of those old perspectives. And so that the new perspective can come in, a higher frequency, higher vibe perspective on life, to see there's something different. We just shake up everywhere you've been with the nodes having just changed. We feel like it's been 76 days with the nodes in the same place. So we just shake out of that old energy and move into this better energy of a different perspective of life. Whatever we were looking at before, it served us, but now it's time to move into a new perspective, new growth, new storylines, new powerful places to grow from here and to let go of the past. What's keeping you stuck in the past? We have Badger Spirit in protection about being bold and fearless. So is the past keeping you from being bold and fearless? Are you afraid that the past is going to repeat itself, or have you not healed that and let go of that? What is it going to take to heal that? And again, I really, where are you getting coached? Where are you getting that support system? We cannot do this alone. And that, definitely want to let you know that Light Goddess Sisterhood is open. It's all of us women together in bonded sisterhood. And I'm going to be having a lot of things coming out where we'll keep getting chances to meet each other and connect very deeply, and so that we grow in our soulpreneurships together and be a resource to each other to support each other in this mission. So that's what Light Goddess Sisterhood is about overall. Now, one of the offerings that's available right now in the sisterhood when you join is a monthly circle, and that first one is on the 28th of June, and it's going to be powerful. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You can click the link below to join the sisterhood and then RSVP to come to that circle. There's only limited spots in that particular first circle, so you want to sign up now. There's women already signed up, and it is these women that are in the sisterhood. It's powerful. It is a very sacred container. We have Panther Spirit, which is about taking back your power. It's talking about Lilith. It's talking about Goddess Eris. And it's in protection. So what is stopping you from feeling like, is it the past? What's preventing you from taking back your power? What are you scared of? Why are you scared to step into a new version of yourself? Or is it that you're run down physically, run down mentally and emotionally? Most people don't really know what they need. They don't understand that they need salt. Salt is a mineral that helps your blood carry nutrients to your body everywhere. It also helps increase your endurance and your stamina when you exercise and when you're an athlete. As you know, I'm an athlete. So when you take a dose of salt before working out, it's really powerful. So, are you deficient in, are you taking enough salt? Salt helps you relieve stress and to not have stress responses. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you resting when you need rest, but also taking action, aligned action, and working and making things happen in your soulpreneurship, but also resting when you need it, which might be a nap in the middle of the day? Are you listening to that? Are you hearing that your mind is spinning and looping and taking you down dark back alleyways? You can listen to the Light Goddess podcast for free. There's thousands of dollars of coaching on there. It's not a membership subscription. It's free. So there's such a wealth. And I talk about how to work with your mind and to do thought work so much on the podcast, because that thought work is what helps you to have a clear channel for your soul to be the one acting in your life, for you to be soul integrated. And we have Groundhog Spirit, about letting go of the past, about letting go what doesn't serve you, about something new coming in. And that's what this whole reading has been about. And lastly, we have Spider Spirit, that there's this web of life that you need to set the intention, release it to the universe and to spirit, and then allow it to emerge and unfold through you, listening to that intuition at the just most subtle levels and acting upon it. And like I was telling you about my example of recognizing intuition, that we do recognize it a lot. So we want to acknowledge how much we're living in our intuition all the time as sacred feminine, and we're waking up more and more every day. But we also want to recognize where we're not recognizing, this is my intuition. This is telling me what I need to do. My mind is saying, this is going to be too complicated. I'm having fear to do this thing, which is when I showed you the chart, that Leo energy is taking the risk and of being afraid and taking the risk to do it anyway. It's that T square from the nodes to Saturn. That Saturn is our work, doing our sacred mission, and then there's the payoff when you do it. But we have to innovate it and do it a new way from a new perspective, Mercury in Gemini. And this Mercury in Gemini squares Saturn. And that can be pessimism. So you don't want to let pessimism come in. And the antidote is this Leo taking risks. And the risk is just perceived risk. It's not a real risk. It's just a perception of risk because you feel afraid. And you can release fear. And I teach the breath release technique in Light Goddess in all of the places I work. And it's so profound to just realize that you can feel fear and do it anyways. You can release fear and then take action. And that it's so important to take that risk. That fear shows you where that risk, that so-called risk, is to take that Leo risk. And you will get those dividends when you do that work with Saturn there. So I hope this helped you this weekend. This is powerful. weekends. And we're going to be ingressing into Cancer season soon and having the change of the seasons. There's a lot going on there. So I'm going to talk about a lot on the Sun Sign Horoscopes on Monday on the Light Goddess podcast. The link's below. Come join the Light Goddess Sisterhood. The link's below. And if you could please like this video, it helps other people find it. Really appreciate that. Sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you on the next Light Goddess Astrology Daily.